and welcome back to our channel. So today we are going to be talking about what it was like for us working during the pandemic. We both were essential workers, so it'll be from different perspectives, which will be very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so my husband actually cooked us some shrimp, corn, potatoes, you know, just a shrimp boil. Yes. And then here we have our butter sauce that he also made for us. And then, you know, a little drinky drink.
Hers is spicy.
Yeah.
Mine is normal people.
Hers like mild, and mine is more like spicy. So yeah, this will be good. So first I'm gonna try the food because I didn't get to taste it when he was cooking it, so.
Why not?
I didn't. I wanted to wait till the video.
No.
I smelled it. It smelled amazing.
You always taste.
He tasted
As you go.
Damn it. Ooh.
Ooh, what is that? Garlic?
That's bad. Oh my god. I need my sauce closer. Oh, there we have pickles.
Lemon? That's really good.
Good. Okay. What's the first question?
Do you remember where you were like when everything first shut down?
When everything first shut down, I actually don't remember where I was. I remember when my job started shutting down. I don't remember like exactly when, but I remember how things were going. When first shut down, I was probably home. Cause at the time, all I did was work and like go home anyway. So that's pretty much it.
I was at the supermarket, at the store, and I kept getting this ding on my phone. I'm like, what is that? So I didn't think nothing of it, and then it got like really, really busy. And I was like, why is it so busy all of a sudden? It was like a Thursday, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is it so busy all of a sudden? Like, where are all these people coming from? And I look up, I literally cannot see down the aisles.
Yeah.
It's like 3 rows of people down each aisle. Like crazy. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So then one of the coworkers come in, he works in the school. He's like, yeah, the school just shut down. And then he's like, oh, the school shut down. Then a lady works on Broadway. She was like, oh, Broadway shut down until further notice. They don't know how they're gonna pay us. And then you see like all these businesses just start shutting down. And I'm like, this is the craziest thing I was terrified. I didn't know what was going on because there was so many people in the store. I could barely move, I could barely breathe. And I'm like, what the heck is going on?
That's crazy.
And then the next day I got to work, they was like, yeah, we just need everybody here. Any day that they can come, anytime that they can come, we just need everybody at one time because my store does internet orders. And we had like maybe 100 a day. Because
people didn't want to go outside.
Right.
To go outside.
Of things that we probably didn't even sell, never even heard of. And I'm like, and the crazy part about it is when we would say that we don't have it, they'll put another order for the next day. And it's like, we're not going to get it overnight. Like, that's not going to happen.
Right.
But it was really, really scary the first day. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think I was at work when it was shutting down, so that's probably why I don't really remember exactly.
You're lucky. The city, New York City was a scary place the first week that everything shut down.
Yeah. Because I actually think in the beginning, when things first started shutting down, I actually remember my husband was, since I worked in a hospital, he knew it was like a hot spot. He didn't want me working. Like he was like, I don't want you to get sick, I don't want you working. So I think I actually took time off. I took like a week off or like 2 weeks off. And he was really trying to convince me just not to go to work at all. But I'm like, I want to go to work.
You can work next year.
Yeah, he's like, don't go to work. And I'm just like, well, I mean, I want to make money. Like, I want to have something to do. Like, Like being home for like 2 weeks doing nothing was just like boring. I was like, yeah, I need to go back to work.
Were you scared of catching COVID?
In the beginning I was, because at first, since I work in the hospital, a lot of the patients that came in with COVID was in the ICU. And I didn't work in the ICU, so I never actually interacted with like COVID patients. But as it became like more, like hospitals kept getting more and more like full, we started to get patients on almost every floor. And when it came to like my floor and we had patients, I'm like, oh my God, this is so new, real scary, like new precautions. It was crazy, like everything, like the whole dynamic of the hospital changed, like how we did things changed. So at first I was scared, like, oh my God, I would have panic attacks like on my way to work, like you don't know what you're going into. But then after like a few weeks, I actually got used to it. Like I was like, well, if I get sick, I get sick. If I don't, I don't. Like I really can't control it either way, so I can't stress myself on whether or not I'm gonna get it. And that's how I looked at it. But in the beginning, yeah, I was actually really, really scared. Since I worked so closely and I actually had like COVID patients and like it was scary.
That is scary. I was scared only because wearing the mask wasn't mandatory at first. So you get people coming in there, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't wear a mask either because people with glasses, you know, can't see nothing with the mask on. Is that, and then I'm not used to things being over my face. Like I don't like things covering my face or touching my face. So that was hard for me, but it was just a lot of people all the time, and my job wasn't doing the whole social distance thing, and they didn't do the whole capacity thing at first until it got really, really serious. And it's like by then we all could have got sick. Thank God nobody at my job actually caught it or got sick from it. So that was a good thing. But at first, it was really scary because you didn't know what kind of customers was coming in the store, who was sick and who wasn't. We didn't check temperatures or anything like that. So we probably did come in contact with it probably on a daily basis at first. But after a while, I was just like, you know, if I catch it, like I'll catch it. I can't prevent myself only from what I can do, washing my hands, wearing gloves, wearing a mask. But if I catch it, I just have to deal with it.
That's how I saw it too. Cause it's like I'm wearing all this, and it's like the chance of me catching it is not zero. So I can still get it. So it's like I can't keep worrying about, oh my God, is my seal on my mask correct? Because we had to wear PPE in the hospital, and it's like just disinfecting every little thing you touch. Like you go in there and you literally can't touch anything, and then you come out and you just have to disinfect everything you thought you touched. Like it was just so hectic, and it was just. And was there ever a point where you felt like quitting your job, like because of COVID, like to keep yourself safe?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Because it was just overwhelming. Like you walked in every day and did the same thing. And I was there from like, some days I would be there from like 7 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. It was a lot. It was too much. And I was basically working the whole time. Barely had anything to eat. Barely had a lunch break, anything. So it was a lot on my body actually. What about you?
No, for me, actually, no.
Your husband did though.
Yeah, like my family and friends were always telling me like, don't go to work. It's a good time to just like not work and like stay home. And I'm just like, well, one, I like making my own money. Two, like yeah, like this is gonna be a new normal. Like it's not gonna go away. So sooner or later, when I do end up going back to work, it's something I'm gonna have to deal with. And then it was like, once I got used to it, like weeks and weeks later, it took a long time though, because mentally in the beginning, I'm still scarred from what I've seen during the pandemic in the hospital. But it was like, after a while, like what can I do? You can't change it. I don't know. I never thought about quitting. I actually like helping people. I like helping them feel better. So
my sister wanted me to quit. She's like, I don't think you should go to work anymore. And I'm like, I'm going to work. My family lives in Georgia. So they're like, I don't think you should go. And I'm like, no, I'm going. I'll be alright.
Right.
I'll be okay.
Guys, we live in New York.
Yeah.
New York City at that. Not just like
and we work in Manhattan.
right in the middle of everything. So
yes.
it was the busiest spot when it all hit, like at the time. So it was pretty crazy. I mean, this one time, I lost my first patient during the beginning of the pandemic, but I'm not gonna say fortunately, but he didn't pass away from COVID. He passed away to natural causes, but even that hit me because that was my first time experiencing a death, and it's like I'm experiencing it during the middle of a pandemic. I'm already stressed, and then like it was like once I experienced my first death, it's like I just kept seeing it so often, and it was like, wow, like this pandemic has made me see a lot of things that I haven't seen. And mind you, I've been in the nursing field for 3 years now.
But that's a lot on you.
At one time.
Wow.
Like I've been in the nursing field for 3 years, and I literally just saw my first death like earlier this year. And then it was like from there I've seen multiple after that. Like I just seen all my deaths in 1 year basically.
Pros and cons of working before and after the lockdown.
It's so funny because months later, after going through the first shutdown, we might have a second one.
Yes.
Like
within like the next 2 days.
Like like the huge wave and then things dying down. So before the shutdown of COVID, because of COVID, my life was actually really great. You remember? My life was really great. I was having fun.
So much fun.
Yeah, I was having so much fun, doing so many things, like experiencing life. It was just fun, and then it was like that hit, and everything just slowed down. Like it just slowed down, and it was just like, well, damn. Like
remember we went to the bar, like
oh yeah, we literally went to the bar like the week everything shut down. Like that was, we didn't know that was gonna actually be our last time because we haven't been to a bar since. But I
think it was the day before.
I think so.
The day before everything shut down, we was at the bar and it was empty, and I was like, wow, this is weird. But then again, it was like a Monday or something.
Yeah. Yeah, but
it was crazy.
But it's the thing, like we didn't even know that was gonna be our last time at the bar for a very long time. Yeah, that was our favorite part
so
too.
So sad.
But yeah, life was going great. Pros about things before coronavirus, I guess just the freedom. Like I feel like now we're like, I don't like the restrictions, but I do like the space.
That's my best part.
I don't like the restrictions of like limited, like doing things is limited. Like now it's not quick, fast, and do it the same day. It's like a little longer of a wait. But then again, that's like first world problems, like stuff we shouldn't really be complaining about. But it's just like we're so used to it that's actually now an inconvenience.
And especially in New York City.
Yeah.
Where everything is just fast.
Right. You're just so used to it. Now everything is so slow and just not used to it. And I don't know, it just makes things drag. Like, I don't know, just things drag. A con? I think that would be the con. Like how things are so slow now. Yeah. The pro would be the space. I love the space. I don't like being too close to people.
I think that's my thing too. I don't like people close to me. And they're like, oh, you're saying it like I have it. I don't know if you have it, but you know what I don't want? You near me.
Right.
And so this was like perfect for me because even on the trains and the buses and stores, when people get close to me, I always give them this look like, I don't know you, I don't want you touching me, I don't want you that close to me. So now I don't even have to give the face because they don't want to be close to me, and it's like, that's perfect.
Right.
And another thing, I think I would say the mask, because a lot of people seem to not feel a sneeze or a cough coming until it comes out, and then they say sorry. And it's like, no, you felt that. I know you felt it because I feel my coughs and my sneezes before they come. And then don't get close to me either.
Right.
They like to talk to you like this.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh, like, no. We're not doing that.
Right. I don't think I was never annoyed of the mask in the beginning, just because, I mean, working in the hospital, you put on a mask for like procedures and like just being close to patients, like bodily fluids. Anyway, I was used to it. I wasn't used to wearing it all the time, but there have been times where I had patients who were in isolation where I needed to wear the mask the whole time I was with them. So that didn't really bother me. I would say now it hurts when I wear it for long periods of time. Like, since I'd be in the hospital for like anywhere from 8 to 16 hours, like my ears be so sore when I come home and take my mask off, and then I don't go outside for 3 days because I need to recover. Right?
What precautions like your job took?
Well, it's funny. I actually like this because when the pandemic first started closing things down, our hospital ended up closing it down to visitors, and that's when everybody was seeing those rules where it's like when women go in labor, you couldn't have like nobody could come in with you, and people were upset. But it was also easier for the staff because like it was so hectic and so busy. It's like you can't worry about the patient and the patient's family, and like sometimes they would get in the way of us doing our job because it was so hectic. Or if there was an emergency, now you got to rush them out, and like it was just, I actually like that it was just close to like hospital staff and like the patients, because it just made our job run a little bit smoother, a little more comfortable too, because you don't have someone like constantly just watching you. Not that you're doing anything wrong, but I mean anybody who's being watched feels uncomfortable. So it was just like, I actually like that.
I actually didn't like that because of the woman giving birth. It's like, yeah, you trust the doctors and nurses, but it's not your family. So it's like, you know, I know it was like hard for them. But then when they did like, oh, only one person, I'm like, oh, that's great.
But even that, because I remember seeing a story of a guy who hid the fact that he had coronavirus from his wife and child and ended up infecting his wife and child. I'm like, that's so selfish. Like, why would you do that? Like, you were scared of being in the hospital alone and catching it, and you end up catching it at home from your loved one. It's like, like, you know,
I think I saw that too.
I was like, how stupid and selfish is that? But yeah, another precaution we took was you had to wear masks all the time in the hospital. No matter if you was on a COVID floor, regular floor, you had to wear masks. You had to wear goggles. Of course, if you was on a COVID floor, you wore PPE. Other precautions we took, I mean, 6 feet apart, social distancing, like regular stuff, hand washing, which is also something we kind of already do, just stuff like that. And also, if we thought we had symptoms as staff, we would get tested and stay home, like quarantine and stuff. So just regular CDC guidelines.
Regular.
Yeah.
My job at first, it wasn't really doing anything. They was giving us a bunch of promises. Oh, we promised to put the plexiglass up. We promised to give you guys gloves. We promised to give you guys masks. We promised to give you guys the tape for the social distancing thing.
Oh no.
And I think somebody in the company caught it, and then that's when they took it like really, really serious. Don't quote me on that. I'm glad you guys don't know where I work at. But they did end up giving us a plexiglass set. They end up giving us a bunch of gloves, a bunch of masks. Excuse me. They started giving the wipes for the customers to wipe their hands and wipe the carts and stuff that they touch. And then we started providing gloves for the customers. All of that we still provide. The only thing we don't provide is the mask because we can barely get them. They tell us to wear if we have some from outside to wear it. But besides that, they gave us the face shields. Those are kind of weird to work in, but they gave it to us and we have them if we need them. The 6 feet apart, that was a good thing, but it's just people they don't feel like doing it. They just don't feel like doing it. Then it becomes an argument or possibly a fight between the customers, and you don't even know because the store's so packed. And it's like people arguing about the fight. We don't even know like where it's coming from. But yeah, everything got so much better. if we go on lockdown, at least we know what to do this time around, for sure.
Yeah,
What precautions did you take when you got home?
I got home. So when I came home, first of all, I was so scared of bringing it to like my husband and like any of my family. I actually stood away. I didn't see a lot of my family for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
But when I got home, I would take off my clothes before even stepping through the door. Like I would even bring it inside the house, and then once I got inside, I had to sanitize myself and everything before even going upstairs and just hopping straight into the shower. Like I couldn't touch anybody, kiss anybody, like have any physical touch with anyone until I like cleaned myself. And then after that, it's like I can lay down. And then it's like, oh my God, what if like 3 days from now I get symptoms and like
Right.
I give it to them? And it's like, luckily we haven't got COVID during this whole pandemic, even though I work closely with it. So I'm grateful for that. But it was just like, what if I bring it home?
Right.
But yeah, that's all I did.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't take it serious at first. I was just coming. I washed my hands when I came in because that's what my mother told me to do. But
even when I gave her advice, she didn't listen.
Yeah, I didn't listen. I called her plenty of times. Tara, I can't smell nothing. Tara, my stomach hurt. Like,
whenever I found
what's
out,
the fever? Like, how do you know you have a fever? Like a real fever?
like, I would find out news before the public just because they would inform like the hospitals and everything. Like we knew things before the public knew things, so I would tell the people closest to me like, hey guys, do this, hey guys, you need to do that, and they already knew. And I'm like, guys, like before the numbers came out to the public, I'm like, this is pretty high, you guys need to be careful and stuff like that. And yeah, you guys still didn't listen.
I know. I was like terrified. Actually, I did get sick. I didn't have COVID, but I ate something that was bad. And me and my manager had the same thing, and I called him like, do you have a fever? And he was like, Ma, you got a fever? I'm like, no. Do you have a fever? He's like, no, why? I'm like, my stomach is so messed up. Like, I was throwing up and using the bathroom, and when you Google COVID, I was like, oh my God, I got it. So I was staying with my cousin, and she got a 4-year-old daughter. She's 5 now. And she came in the room. I was like snuggled up under the covers and stuff, and I'm just like crying, like, oh my God, I have it. And she came near me. I was like, you gotta get out. And she was like, well, I can't come in here. I'm like, if you get sick, your mom's gonna kill me.
He was like, I don't care.
But the next day I woke up, I was fine. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I texted her, like, I cured COVID.
Oh,
it was so funny. But I would text her, like, every day, like, are you sure if you burp and taste this, are you sure that's not COVID? Like, are you positive? She's like, it's not COVID. How do you know?
Like, it'll be the weirdest symptom. It'll be things that wasn't even related. Like, if my stomach hurts, like, you just have a stomach ache.
I'm like, but it says that you can poop.
What if I sneeze?
I'm like, oh my God, my nose is running. Isn't that a symptom? I'm like, oh my gosh, I have it. And then I will go to work and I'll just be like, and then like somebody will sneeze and I'll be like, oh my God. And I'll go home. So like, I don't feel good. Do I have it? And she's like, stop texting me.
Like, just go get tested or just leave me alone. How do you think it changed us mentally? Like, mentally, like, do you think it made you think different, act different? Like, things that you're going to take in the future even when this, like, blows over? Or, like...
I can honestly say, it's like, I feel like if I got through this, I can really get through anything. Like, I've been through stuff in my life when I was like, I can get through that, I can get through anything. But this right here, where it's like in your face, you can get sick at any moment. Someone close to you can die at any moment.
COVID changed me mentally because in the beginning, like, I don't know, I just went from living like a fun, carefree life, you know, doing things normal young adults do, experiencing life, and everything just shut down. And then like So I have anxiety, and my anxiety was like at an all-time high. Like it was terrible, and like mentally, my brain was like go 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 go.
Yeah.
And then when it like stopped and it like slowed down, like I literally almost fell into like a depression. I was just like, this is too much. I can't do this. Like all the shit I've seen, like
It's like you just get up and go to work.
yeah,
Like a robot.
like come home, like I don't do anything. I'm not seeing anyone because I'm staying away from my family and my friends, and it was just like I felt so isolated, and it was just like
scary.
yeah. Well guys, I think we answered a lot about the pandemic and our experience.
Yes.
Comment down below if you guys are essential workers, what your experience was like during this whole thing,
because we want to hear it.
Yeah,
I worked in a supermarket, she worked in the hospital.
Yeah,
but there was still people working other jobs as well.
Yeah, I feel like
you delivery drivers, I love you guys.
Yeah,
I was not cooking.
Like all the essential work.
Thank you so much.
All the essential work like was very important, and that's another thing. Like everyone who put their life on the line, because whether your job was something big or small, you working during that time was you putting your health on the line, and to like. Who
would think McDonald's would be like essential?
Hey, but you didn't cook, so you needed that.
You remember those fries and those McFlurries? I needed that. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. So, all right, guys, let us know how your experience was. If you wasn't an essential worker, let us know your thoughts of just dealing with the pandemic.
Working from home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like people work from home. Yeah. Like, how did it change from going from like an office to like a home setting?
Or if your job shut down and now reopen, like what is that like? Like what do y'all do now?
Oh yeah, because that was pretty hard for some people too. Yeah.
Like how did you get back in the swing of things?
Yeah, but we would love to hear from you guys. You know, be interactive with you guys. But we're about to be out. So until next time, bye.
Bye.